Welcome back to the Cover to Cover Girls Book Club. We are your host. I'm Hallie Bell. This is,
Michelle. Hi, guys.
and you may notice that we're not snuggled up on a couch right now. Michelle, please explain.
I'll explain. I'm sorry. That's all I have to explain. So, here's what happened. Quick high level overview. There was a tiff
High
between
level.
there was a tiff between me and Halle Bell's cat. As he was getting off my lap, one might say, we were cuddling even. He stepped on the computer that we were using to record. I take full responsibility. On accident, I deleted the entire episode. But our last episode. But Halle Bell chose to marry not only the most handsome, but also the smartest man God has ever created. And he has successfully, knock on wood, saved
Nothing.
our episode. So stay
She
tuned. It might be coming. I don't know.
she married the athlete. I married the brains,
Yeah, there can't be
and
both.
that's why Michelle and I are the perfect couple.
It's so true. That's why we're darling little girls.
And that's why we're darling girls.
Wow.
So basically, what we're going to do is pick up where we left off for our second book, which is From Here to the Great Unknown, that we read by Riley Keough, who is Elvis Presley's granddaughter.
Hmm.
And we were discussing it, and we're just going to kind of go over what we were talking about because I think we're going to cut the video at the end of our conversation of
Husbands and lovers.
help.
Husbands and lovers.
Husbands and Lovers, that one, which was not our finest work.
Let me just say, I couldn't even do a summary because I couldn't even remember the book. And literally, Halle Bell, all day, my entire ride home from work, I was like, this book is about a girl named, like, I was practicing to redo the summary because I felt so bad.
Me too. I had this whole like opening for it. Like, I was going to be like, wait, what's his name? Monk Adams. Do 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 do. You know, like the like trailer from The Holiday when they're like doing trailers in her head. And it's like, Monk Adams couldn't find love.
Monk Adams had a fiance, but actually was still in love with his 14-year-old crush.
And her
Da-da-da.
baby might be mine, might be my dad's.
Bum, bum, bum. It
But
was so good.
anyways, so
Anywho,
we're gonna go into a book that I think I mean, this is like one of my favorite books of the year. Obviously, I enjoyed it way more than the other book that we read. Michelle really liked
well,
the other book that we read, but I really love this book.
and let me just say, I also really like this book, and it was probably the only nonfiction I read all year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't read a lot of nonfiction, and so I wasn't necessarily like not looking forward to this book, but I was like, it's either going to be really good and I'm going to speed through it, or I'm going to hate it and I'm going to want to DNF it. Let me tell you, I finished it in like 2 days.
Riley Keough is an amazing author.
Yeah, she's talented.
The way that she can put this story, different stories, three different stories basically. Her mom's the story is basically Lisa Marie's story and Riley's POV story of growing up with her mom. And it's literal audio recordings of Lisa Marie, who was preparing to write an autobiography but could never finish it before her untimely death. And it's just fabulous. Like
It's so good.
the way that she can capture and put down on words these like fantastical events basically because it's Elvis's granddaughter bebopping around in a golf cart at Graceland.
With Michael Jackson as her stepdad. Like it just doesn't, it's
And
not
listen,
realistic.
it's not, it's literally like it's like
It's satire.
American royalty. I feel like that term is exclusively reserved for Presley's.
That's so true. I agree
I mean,
completely.
her mother passed away with over $30 million in debt. However, Lisa Marie is like 150 millionaire. Like,
That's crazy. I didn't know
isn't
that.
that crazy? Well, you can, when you're reading this, it is a story of extravagance. The
Uh-huh.
people, the amount of people in their home, and she loved it until
Mm-hmm.
she didn't. But I just think, I mean, to keep all those people on staff, to take all those vacations, basically to never work. I mean, she did do a small album, but she didn't work.
Are we gonna call it an album? I don't know. I've never listened to it, to be honest.
I
Can
went
she
on
sing?
Spotify. She can sing pretty good.
But like
I
it's not Elvis.
It's not Elvis, but it's pretty good. And Lisa Marie or I mean Priscilla discouraged Lisa Marie from having a singing career, so she never really even tried till she was 30.
Yeah, no, and what's Priscilla's deal?
She's not a Presley.
No, she's not. She's not a good person. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know what she is, but she's
Well,
not who I would like her to be.
now that Lisa Marie has passed, Riley, the author of this book, is the like head of the Presley estate now. And I think Lisa or Priscilla was head of the estate, like co-head with Lisa Marie, and it should be in Riley's hands because Lisa and Marie or Priscilla and Elvis were divorced at the time of his death.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And she was remarried.
Priscilla?
Yes.
To who? Michael
To that
Jackson?
no, to that really creepy guy at the beginning of like her chapter where Lisa Marie, it's like a really creepy French guy,
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
and he
Yes.
molests Lisa Marie.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
And
I'm
Priscilla allowed
remembering.
that in her home. She
It's
told her mom.
giving it's giving Menendez.
Well, the forgiveness, it totally is because the forgiveness Lisa Marie gives to Priscilla is just so not like Lisa Marie. She did a lot of bad things, but she never did anything wrong to Priscilla
No. No, she
from this
only ever wanted
story.
to be like a good daughter,
Yeah,
especially when Elvis died.
and she only lashed out because her mother was not present.
Makes sense.
My favorite story is when
Ooh.
Lisa Marie is in elementary school and she has Elvis come to the parent teacher conference. And she's like, he is seemingly wearing a normal outfit, jeans, button down, but he's also wearing a belt buckle, like bangles,
Sequins, yeah.
sunglasses.
Big joy.
I feel like this is gonna be my children. They're gonna be like, she's seemingly wearing a dress, but
No, I
she's
was gonna say
also
it seems like a jean dress, but somehow she's added something to
something to it to make it completely inappropriate for this event.
it. Oh gosh.
What are
Sorry,
some
I'm
of
like
your what are
yeah,
some of your favorite stories?
I'm reading through my notes and I put a laughing face next to all you guys know. I take the briefest notes with no explanation and
They're
all I wrote
so
was
funny.
they're so funny. All I wrote was reincarnated Marie Antoinette. Do you know who that's about?
Yes.
Who was it? Because I don't remember.
You don't know who Marie Antoinette is?
No, no. Riley or Lisa Marie was saying that someone is the reincarnation of Marie Antoinette, and I can't remember who it is. I want to say it was like a cat or a dog, or maybe even Riley. I don't know.
Oh.
But I wrote that down. My favorite stories were just like Lisa being a kid, like her
Oh my
taking
gosh.
when people would come up to the front gate or the fence and she would take their cameras and be like, I'll go take a picture of inside the house for $1. And then she'd take the camera and
And
then
take a
like
picture of the floor.
take a picture of the floor or like and then just throw it back to them and they're gonna get so excited.
They're
I
like, "Go
love
inside and take a picture of your dad." And she's like, "Give me $100."
yeah. She's like, here's a picture of the floor, you creep. But I loved all of the stories of like the famous people that they were meeting, like Lisa meeting Freddie Mercury, and like all the famous people. I just thought it was so interesting
And
because like that was normal for her.
throwing Billy Idol off the back of her golf cart.
Yes, the rowing Billy Idol. It was just bizarre. The stories, I was like, they knew them. I mean, of course they knew them, but it's still weird to hear.
And she would wake Riley, Lisa Marie would wake her daughter
Yeah.
Riley up in
Yeah.
the middle of the night, and if there was somebody fun at a party that Riley would want to meet, she would call her and say, like, "Get the driver to drive her to the party so that she can meet XYZ."
That's crazy. Like, can
That
you
is crazy.
imagine? It's wild. I also really loved the stories about Scientology because that just is so crazy to me. And it's
It's
very
the
interesting to see
only
them talk about it.
it's the only positive story of Scientology out there.
Definitely.
It's the
Definitely.
only one that's, like, truly ever helped someone, I
Yeah.
feel
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that I've heard.
Of course. Yeah. No,
But
I
I
agree with you.
The only thing the only reason I think it helped Lisa Marie was because she just needed structure and order, and that was, like, something that could I think she could have found it at literally anywhere else but her house.
No, seriously, the local
Except
Walmart.
school, like, she didn't like school, and she didn't, like,
Yeah.
not encourage she didn't like her kids going to school, like, anytime her kids would be like, "I don't wanna go to school," she'd be like, "Perfect, I'm so
Great.
glad."
Like, I don't want you to go either. Get in the car. We're gonna go meet Billy Idol.
I wish, like, when I was reading this, I was like, "You wanna be this mom." Like, but
Yeah.
you can't
No. And then
because
her dad was, like, the more, like, level-headed, like, dad. So,
the
you
only
need a perfect
time
balance.
the sweetest story is when she, like, gets hurt on that motorbike, and it's the only time that her dad ever got really mad at her, and she was trying to creep past his room because they shared a floor, and it was just
Yeah,
him
yeah,
and
yeah.
her up there, and she was trying to creep past his room, and he was like, "Get on in here, Lisa." And she, came on in. I've got a great Elvis voice.
Yeah, you really do know. I was kinda surprised.
I love Elvis Presley so much. I've loved him since I was a kid. Like, I asked to go there
Yeah.
for my 12th birthday to Graceland. Like, I love him.
And
But she's coming past his room, and he calls her in there, and he sees the injury on her leg, and he's so mad that she's hurt herself. Like, that is, like,
uh-huh.
what has bothered him so much, and he, like, smacks her on the hand, and then she goes to bed, and she's like, "I think that the world is ending because my
Yeah.
dad is mad at me," and she goes to sleep, and she wakes up, and he's singing her a song, and, like, imagine Elvis singing you a song in the middle of the night and just tears, like, he just felt so bad, he's like, "I'm so sorry, baby girl."
I think you should finish this whole episode just doing your Elvis voice.
Thank you very much."
What? That's good. That's really good.
No,
No, there are just
my favorite Elvis song is called Polk Salad Annie. If you haven't listened to it, it's the best song ever, and I make my kids listen to it, and Wally always goes, "This is kinda a weird song."
yeah, yeah, Wally, it kind of
But
is.
it's like it starts out with, like, the live version starts out with him, like, talking to the crowd, and he goes, "Some of y'all never been down south too much. Some of y'all never been down south at all."
Amen, brother. Amen. That is so
He's like,
true.
"We used to go out into the field and pick a mess of it, bring it on home for supper, 'cause that's all we had to eat, but we did all right."
Honestly, put that on a t-shirt. Make that a mantra.
It is the it is the best song ever, ever, ever.
Wow.
So anyway.
I'm gonna listen to a lot of Elvis music on the way to work tomorrow,
Oh, good.
just for you. But
Please listen to Polk Salad Annie.
I didn't know like a ton about the Presleys. I feel like I knew the most about like Priscilla for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, we have a special guest.
Oh, is it the cat?
Come here. You need your tape measure. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, just
We
get
can't
it.
sleep without our tape measure. Wait, where's mine? I thought it
I
was
don't
right.
know where it is, baby. Night night.
Isn't Halle Bell just the best mom? She's the best.
She's like, "Mommy can't talk right now. I'm recording my podcast."
And he's like, "You mean the podcast that only Deary listens to?" Just kidding.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
god. But
I just fantasize about the amount of help that these people had to, like, care like, a nanny for each child,
plus a housekeeper,
plus
plus
the house,
someone to mow the lawn,
plus a
plus
chef,
someone to a driver and a chef.
full time, all full
Can
time.
you imagine?
And the amount of people living at Graceland, there was about 36 people living at Graceland at the time of Elvis that he
And,
moved
like,
his whole family. It's like when someone got into money in the South, you just bring your whole family with you. Like,
no, let me tell you right now, when I come into money, I'm gonna disappear and nobody's invited except Halle Bell.
no, I'm gonna be like, "You're my friend. Here's $1,000,000."
We're so different. If I
I
won the
know.
lottery, no one would know.
That you would be such a
Wait,
miser. You
I think
are such a miser.
we talked about this on our last episode about how what did we say? Like, if I won the lottery, I would just keep on working. Like, nothing
Oh,
would change,
100%.
and you would go out and be like, "Oh, well,
I would be like, no,
a little bit of."
I would just, like, take care of everybody that I
Mhm.
loved
Yeah.
and, like, get some really nice clothes.
Yeah. Oh god. But this story, there were just so many unbelievable things that happened to these people that you're like, "That's not real." Like, the birthday in, like, Hawaii
Oh, yeah.
was like, it's just crazy that and they had a house in Hawaii, and they lived in London, and it's unbelievable is how
It's
I describe this book.
it absolutely is, and you think about, like, Lisa Marie and what kind of person she would have had to have been to, like, attract the interest of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, what?
And Nicolas Ca I mean,
And
like,
Nicolas Cage. I might argue Nicolas Cage is more interesting than
it's
Michael Jackson.
it's just like she was a magnet, and they describe her as such. Like, she just had a quality or an essence about her that just, like, made you wanna get to know her more, and she was so understanding, I think because of all she had been
Yeah.
through, and I would have loved to have dinner with her. It's like one of those questions, like, it's like, "Who would you have dinner with, dead or alive?" It's like Lisa Marie, but I would wanna be, like, on a close basis because I feel like she
If
wouldn't
you
open up if she didn't know you.
Mm, that's yeah, no, I completely agree. Sorry, I'm thinking about who I would want to.
Oh, yeah, who would you?
I know I have no idea.
I think
Like,
Lisa Marie and her and Elvis would be such a
at
crazy
Graceland.
at Graceland, which is so wild that they still have holidays there, they still celebrate, and Riley in her Oprah interview regarding this book, 'cause this was picked as Oprah's book club book of the year, and regarding her, like, where how she's gonna handle the estate, she's like, "I'm keeping it as a house, like, people are gonna be able to come and,
Yeah,
tour the house, but, it's also a family home."
that's insane.
And I
Good
just
for
love
her.
that, and because she was like, "I want my kids, like, growing up, like, having our Thanksgiving here," and, like, the
Wow.
cooks that cooked for Elvis cooked for Riley.
No, that's insane.
Like,
It's unbelievable.
it's
That's the
unbelievable,
only way to describe it.
and because, like, it was such a big house at the time, and now it's considered a rather small
Yeah.
mansion, you know what
No,
I
that's what I was
mean?
gonna say. It's kind of small.
It's kind of small, and, like, people lived in trailers in the back, like, his family. And he would my favorite part was when he would take them all, this is so me, this is just something I would connect with. He would take them all to go to see the movies, and they would,
Yeah,
like, all he would shut down the movie theater and, like, get them all in the golf cart and be like, "Come on, everybody, we're gonna go see a movie."
that is you. That's you. Literally 3 days ago, Hallie was like, "Are you not coming to see Wicked with me?" And I was like, "No, no, no, I
I
am, I
was like,
swear."
"What works best for you, the 5th or the 6th?"
No questions asked if I was going. It's like, "When are you going?"
"I'm going
That's
to a
so
birthday
you.
party tomorrow," and I'm like, "Michelle, are you coming to the birthday
Oh,
party?"
actually, I meant to tell you, I actually can't come because it's my first time being here for the St. Elmo Ladies Wine Night.
On Thursday or Wednesday?
Oh, sorry, on Thursday.
Are you sure?
I'm positive it's the 3rd Thursday of every month.
What time does it end?
I don't know. Starts at 6:30 if you'd like to come.
Probably 7, it probably ends at 7, and then
Oh God, we're so dumb.
I'm so
Oh,
mad.
gee.
Anyways, um, I just think, I mean, and I want to touch on the casket.
Oh, I can't talk about it again. Wait,
Can
which
we
casket?
both?
Okay, go
So
ahead.
when Elvis died, they had a public viewing and they kept Elvis in his casket in Graceland so that people could come and mourn. And Lisa Marie, just as a 9-year-old, sat on the steps and were like, wow, these people are really upset.
Wait, can I
And
interrupt you?
oh, please.
That was the very first note I took was like sad face, Lisa not being able to grieve her dad because everyone else was.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Okay, continue.
And
So she
where's
was
her
sitting on the
mother?
yeah.
Um, anyways, she's sitting on the steps and people are crying. And then she finally gets, at night, she creeps downstairs to the piano room where her dad is and just talks with him. Flash forward to her son
Mm-mm.
um passing. He trigger warning, commits suicide. And
Did he though? Do we think?
yes, yeah, we do know that.
But no, but do you think he did?
Yes, because oh my gosh, it just breaks my heart, the conversation that he was texting his mom and he goes,
I
"I think
know.
I have a mental problem." Like he
Yeah,
didn't know how to articulate, like, and he
I
was just
know.
coming into it.
I
Um,
don't
I mean, I don't think he's just coming into it because I mean, look at his
I know.
childhood and stuff. But he's
Anywho, he
trying to
died.
put words into it, and he's like texted his mom, and he's like, "I think I have a mental problem." And then literally like 2 days later, he's like gone.
That's my argument is like not like and I'm not being insensitive, but I kind of think it might have been an accident. Like
Yeah,
not I don't know, like maybe he was taking meds to ease his pain and
yeah.
overdose. I don't know. Like you I don't know. I
They
also think
said
Michael Jackson is still alive though, so
they said he wasn't in his right state of mind. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like they said
yeah.
he wouldn't have done this if he had no, like, you know what I mean? Like if he
No,
had
I
known
yeah.
that he did. I don't think he knew. They were so sheltered. It's like he just didn't know
So
that there
true.
was help, you know?
Yeah.
And so anyways,
Anyway,
he passes and they're asking where to put the body and they can't decide. And so she's just like, bring him to my house. And then he stays there for 2 months in her house and she takes care of him, takes care of the body. And the family has like a 2 month long goodbye with him in the house. And
um
meanwhile, her and Riley want to get matching tattoos.
that's my favorite story. That's that
And
one.
the tattooist comes to the house as they
Because why
do
would
when
they
you're
go to a
rich.
shop?
And they wanna get, like, this in the same place where he has it, and so she's, like, trying to get it right, and she's like, "Well, why don't I just show you?" And takes
And this
the tattoo artist
the poor 18-year-old tattoo artist is like, okay, show me what?"
and takes him in there, and he's just, like, trying to play it cool, and they're like, "Okay," and then they do the tattoos, and then he leaves, and then he goes home, and he's like, "Weird."
I like I like how Riley is like, "He acted like it was okay, but I knew deep down he thought we were, like, effing crazy."
Somehow she got, like, a normal gene through this all.
Somehow.
And it
From
just
Danny.
I guess from Danny, because Danny is so sweet. I
He is
think
he's a great guy.
he kinda reminds me of, like, a meathead, but, like, he's really sweet.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like, he didn't know what's going on. He lived in every house that Lisa Marie lived in with every husband that she lived with.
Yeah, it was like, "We're getting married, but here's my ex-husband who's gonna just sleep in the guest room."
And then Lisa Marie is, like, has to have, like, an accountability person, so they move into Riley's, like, small apartment, and dad joins them too.
"Dad, come on down." It's so crazy.
It's so crazy, but, like, imagine having someone that, like, sticks by you through all of that. That's the thing, she just had so many people, and, like, her death, I don't think that she wanted to die. You know, I mean,
No.
obviously, like, this was a medical incident, but, like, it's just sad she was so hard on her body, and she was so hard just, like, really she just didn't take care of herself.
Exactly what you said about her son, whose name I'm blanking on.
Ben. 'Cause
Ben.
because her husband's name is Ben too, Riley's husband, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
to differentiate, they call Ben, Ben, and then they call their Ben, 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 and I just
Ben
think
Ben.
that's so
Ben Ben. That
cute.
is cute. That is cute. No, but you said like Ben was so Ben,
Ben, Ben.
he was sheltered. He didn't know any better.
Yeah,
As I think we could argue the same for Lisa Marie
I agree.
in
I'm
her death.
100%, like, these are all children. Like, they say, like, when you have something traumatic happen, you can, like, stop aging at the age that
Yeah,
you were, and I'm like, "She's 9."
she was 9. Yeah.
And that's just sad. And it just sounds like Elvis was, like, such a great dad.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
then
Priscilla was just so awful.
Ben looked strikingly like Elvis and reminded her so much of Elvis that it was just scary, and she was just like, "The only reason I'm alive is because of my girls,"
Yeah.
after Ben died.
Ben Ben. Do you think, here's another question for you. No, I'm not going to ask if you think Michael Jackson is still alive.
Okay, please don't.
I'm not. Do you think that these people like Danny and Mimi, that's their nickname for Michael Jackson,
I love
and
that.
not necessarily Nicolas Cage, but do you think that they, specifically Danny, like stuck around for Lisa longer than like they should have because of that weird like love adoration, or because they felt like some sense of sorry for like the struggles she was dealing with? Or do you think both?
Or maybe the money. She's just kind of the money train.
And what does she
So
say in
sad.
she says something at one point and it's like she just always kept her walls up because she couldn't have friends, she couldn't trust anyone.
Well, and
It's
they
so
say that
sad.
Michael Jackson, maybe married her because he was the king of pop, marrying the king of rock and roll's daughter.
Yeah,
And
it
you
makes
just
sense.
can't help but wonder. And she's like, and in her tape, she's like, I just can't help but wonder. And,
Yeah,
but they do say she files for divorce before he does. But they say he never was going to. And I think things had grown estranged, obviously, at that point, and I think he was using that to emotionally manipulate her. I
I
mean,
agree. That's something that like the friends of your ex-boyfriend say like, well, he wasn't actually going to break up
yeah.
with you, and they're just using it as like a manipulating tool, like
Well,
even
everybody
though he was.
emotionally manipulates Lisa Marie because she is 9.
Amen.
And her mother lets everybody do it because her mother is like intimately involved in lots of aspects of her life and literally does nothing to like help her ever.
Yeah. What age do you think Priscilla is? 14?
No, serious, because she
No,
got
because
married when
that's when she like met Elvis.
met
Wasn't she
Elvis.
14 or 16? She was young.
She was young, but don't you think he was a good husband to her? Don't you? I think it's her.
I don't know. There's some stuff about Elvis that I don't know if I believe. Like all
Well,
he
the
he was gone a
rage.
lot. The rage. I don't Was he cheating? We don't know. We'll never
We don't
know.
know, but him pulling the piano up in the middle of the night just so he can play gospel music in his room is literally like
That's you.
it's
You
me. If I had
you
my
have
own, like,
your
we gotta get a piano up here. I've got to do something.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's the title of this episode is just listen here for Halle Bell's Elvis impersonation.
I think I just grew up like watching so much Elvis footage, like it's like impermeated in my brain.
Oh no, see, my family, we were a Mimi family. Like we listened to a lot of Michael Jackson.
That is crazy.
No Elvis, never any Elvis.
I was an
But
Elvis family, like my grandma, my mama, my grandma, like they love
uh,
Elvis.
no, we were Jimmy Buffett people, but
Oh,
like
but parrot heads.
we were parrot heads. But my nanny was just here for dinner, and I was telling her about this book, and I was like, "Oh, were you an Elvis fan?" And she goes, "Ah," and I was like, "Oh, okay, yes." And she was like, She said, "Well, Michelle, I was having babies when Elvis was popular." And I was like, "Okay, that doesn't really answer the
It doesn't mean
question." Like, what? She's so funny. So, yes, she was a big Elvis fan, but, like, we never
When my
unfortunately
sister was about 5, when Princess Diana died, she said they were watching the news and she said, "The king is dead and now the queen," referring to Elvis and
in
Princess
Princess.
Diana.
That's fun. That's a
Isn't
good
that
time.
hilarious? And we say it all the time, like, "The king is dead and now the
And now
queen."
the queen. Oh, geez. What
Yeah.
this is so off topic,
Mm.
but what music artist do you think you're gonna instill in your kids?
Elvis, I mean, I play Elvis in the car. Wally loves
And the
Viva Las
Killers.
Vegas. Oh, The
Yeah.
Killers. But he loves Viva Las Vegas and Devil in Disguise so
Ooh,
much. They're, like, his favorite songs,
wow.
and I love music from that era. I, like, play a lot of that in the car, and, like, the
Yeah.
kids really enjoy it. Like, Teddy's always, like, bobbing his head. There's this song called Yakety Yak
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's, like, a, song about, like, it's like, "Take out the paper and the trash, or you won't get no spending cash." It's, like, about kids doing chores and, like, complaining about their parents, and it's literally Wally's favorite song. So, I'm trying to, like, instill, like, the classics in them,
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. No, those
sprinkled with
rhyme are
some
good.
Jesus music, just to, like,
Just
try
to,
to save their
just to cover
souls.
all your bases. Save their they're listening to the Killers, Elvis, and,
And then I'm
Hillsong
like,
United.
"Oceans Deep, here we go."
Baby, lead me where my trust is
Just a
without.
little. Yeah.
We were man, we just listened to a lot of Jimmy Buffett and, like, I remember very
That's a
vividly
good one.
yeah, I remember
Cheeseburger in paradise.
paradise, medium rare with the mic. But
Mhm.
I remember driving to 3rd grade listening to solely Michael Jackson, like Thriller on repeat. I don't know why, but, like, my family, like, my grandma, my aunts and uncles, we always were listening to the Beatles, like, that was
Oh,
our
the
thing, and
Beatles,
when
yes.
I was, like, maybe 13 or 14, we went to a Beatles tribute concert, and we were
That's
front
amazing.
row, and it was amazing.
I'm so glad see, that's why we're friends because I grew up on the Beatles, Elton John,
Yeah.
Elvis, like, these were the songs, but my mom, like, they were really big into pop until Billy Ray Cyrus came out with "Achy Breaky Heart," and that's when my mom switched the radio to country, so she could hear that song, and then she never changed it back. It's US 101, country music in the car, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah. I was just on a cruise, about a month ago, and our favorite band that we were listening to, I'm sorry, this is not related. It was like it was like a young, possibly gay Italian man, and then two older, like, Scottish men,
Yeah.
and they were, like, very manly. And so imagine those three accents. Oh, there's my cat. And
Oh, no.
they only sang country music. Oh, do you guys see him? Do you see him? But they sang "Achy Breaky Heart," and they made it like this weird, like, Scottish Italian rendition, and it was the craziest thing
Stop.
ever.
This is literally okay, I'm reading Stanley Tucci's new book, Taste. It is so good, but there's a restaurant in Italy, in Rome, where this this lady comes up to each table and asks you where you're from, and she's trying to sing a song that connects with you in, like, her Roman accent, like, her
Oh
Italian accent,
gosh.
and the one for America is Country Road, John Denver.
That's it. No, that's the song of my people. We were
That
yeah.
is I mean, we're huge John Denver fans because my dad looks like John Denver.
Yeah.
My dad literally had the same haircut, same glasses, same face as John. I kind of look like my cheekbones,
No,
everyone
you
thinks,
do
like, I
kind of.
kind of, like, look like John Denver a little
Halle Bell or John Denver, question mark?
but isn't that so funny? And that book is really good, just side tangent, Taste by Stanley Tucci is fascinating
Yeah,
and
no, I'm
delightful.
That's gonna be my next, like, memoir, but I'm so
Yes.
sorry. I just decided that if you ever have another boy, you should name him Johnny.
Oh my gosh.
Johnny Wiley, and, people would be like, "Oh, who are you named after?" And he'd be like, "Well, my mom kinda looks like John
God,
Denver."
Denver. No, but we are seriously considering Jean because of the song "Cheer Up, Sleepy Jean."
Jean.
I love that.
You don't wanna name it
Daydream.
not Louis? Is Louis?
We're not British enough for Louis.
Oh, well, let me think what else about I just want Riley to write more books.
I want Riley to write more books and I want her to have the most precious, perfect life. I want her to stay with her husband and have babies and never be bothered.
No, never. Okay, but
And
do
just
you
keep hanging out with Oprah and let Oprah to protect you forever.
because Oprah could.
Oprah can.
Oprah will.
Oprah, listen.
Do you
Oprah,
think
please.
Oprah now?
Oprah, on our lives. Don't let anything happen to Riley Keough.
Seriously. No, seriously. She is America's princess and we need to protect her at all costs.
She's American royalty.
Do you think she's a good actress?
So here's the thing. I tried to watch Daisy Jones and the
Me
Six,
too.
but it's really critically acclaimed. Like people really connect with it and say she does a good job. The storyline was just way too dark, and there was no hero. So for me, I'm out.
No deal.
It's a no deal. Howie
As someone
Mandel.
as someone who loves to put blame on a victim in a book,
Mm,
you need a hero. Yeah.
have to because I'm always
Yeah.
trying to find the enemy.
That's so true. You're always looking for the enemy. You always need someone to blame.
Sorry.
Well, what else about this book? Overall, what would you rate it?
Oh my gosh, this is like a 5-star book. I recommend it to everyone. Oh my gosh, the title entitled or the chapter entitled GD. I don't want to say it because
Oh,
it's against
oh,
uh,
I hear what you're
and just
saying.
how Southern people say it and how Elvis used to say it, and he'd be like, "Gosh darn it, come over here and give me some sugar."
It's so funny.
It's
It's
so
so funny.
good. Or like when
And
they're really angry and it's just like it just takes me because if you just grow up in the South, it just like takes you to like being in a Piggly Wiggly and like somebody's yelling.
being at your grandpa's house, like maybe not for you, but like
Yeah.
my grandpa's was BS and
Oh yeah.
he had this really raspy voice
Oh
and we say it all the time. We're like bullshit. And it's
There's
so
something so
funny.
pure about like
An old southern man cursing.
just an old and it doesn't even sound like a curse word. It's just
No,
like
no.
like you know how people curse now and you're like you just don't even know what to say. You don't even have the words. But it's like for like a like in that time like Elvis using it, it was like a I don't know like a part of the language.
It was yeah, 100 no, no one even thought anything of it. Like, it would be weird if he didn't say that.
If anything, it was like an embellishment,
A proclamation.
a proclamation, an exclamation. When the snake is coming up and he like shoots it, and she just hears him yell, "Gosh dang it!"
Oh,
And she comes in outside. She's like, "Daddy."
oh gosh. Man, what
Man,
a good book. My only complaint
oh please,
oh, I love when you say that. Oh,
here
please.
here she is.
There she goes.
Wouldn't be a cover to cover girls without a Michelle complaint.
It's it's such a perfect book, but
Mm.
I don't know how I felt about the audiobook. Like, the narrator was it was like Riley and then the person as Lisa and then actually Lisa,
I
and I
loved it.
wish
It's Julia Roberts.
it was oh, I guess it was Julia
It's
Roberts.
Julia freaking Roberts narrating the audiobook.
Well, maybe okay, hear me out. Maybe that's why I didn't love it because I know Julia Roberts to do all of her other things. So why is she voicing Lisa Marie?
Because it's epic.
Okay, good argument. Okay. I just wish there would have been like you specifically, Halle Bell pitched this book to me as like, "Oh, it's going to be a lot of like Lisa Marie. And I heard that everywhere. Even
Yeah.
reviews are like, you're going to love listening to Lisa Marie. And like realistically, it was like less than 5% of the book were her
I
actual
think
audios.
because she was so hard to understand. When you listen to those clips, you
They're not good.
really have the audio quality is not good, but also when you watch her in interviews, she slurs a lot of words.
Yeah.
I mean, she's obviously an opioid user at this time, and it's just really hard to understand her.
No, it is. Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. And Riley rewrote it. Like from the audio tape, she wrote
Yeah.
chapters. And I'm so glad that she did because I think she was able to put into words what her mother couldn't. And it was exactly what her mother was seeking help
Was
on.
trying to say, yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I even wish this book would have been longer.
Me too. I wish
Like with,
the Elvis chapter early days, the
I
grandma,
know.
wait, what the grandma that lives there, or it's like an aunt, and they're like, "Are you that crazy aunt that still lives here?" And she's like, "No, she died."
And it's her.
It's her.
That's me at Holly Bell's house. Nope. She
Nope, it's
did.
not me. I'm going back to my
I
room now.
I sorry, here's my other complaint. I
Let's hear it.
hated the ending.
Yeah.
It was I had to replay it like 3 times because I couldn't like I thought my Spotify because again I listened to this. I thought my Spotify was glitching because I was like there's no way that's the end.
What would have been beautiful if Riley would have written like sort of a sonnet or a poem incorporating the players at B. Like she's just so talented. And I do feel as though maybe the publishers sort of constrained her a bit
I
because like she had probably things that she had to do for the book deal. And
I agree. I
so
think it I agree. I think that would have been great and I think she's very talented.
the
I
opening
also
with the Bluebird lyrics is
I
just
know.
I
It's
mean, it just
unbeatable.
transports you and, like, takes you into this story, and I reread it, and I'm like, "This is so powerful."
Yeah, and then you get to the ending and you're like, "Wait, was that the ending?"
Yeah.
They should have ended it now hear me out. An AI voiceover making Elvis close out the book.
That could have been cool.
That could have been cool.
But also, this was, like, extremely emotional for Riley, like,
Yeah,
she was, like, sobbing. Like, anytime she does an interview about it, she tears up or cries.
yeah,
Obviously, because she had such a deep connection with her mother, they, like, never really separated. Like, they would go maybe a day or 2 without seeing each other.
maybe.
Um, and same with her brother. Like I mean, he came with her to like film a small part in a movie in Japan. Like, this is just like an inseparable family. And I
Yeah.
think that this was an extremely emotional experience, but she was doing the work
Mhm.
to recover that her mother never did. I feel like,
I agree. I agree completely. And
and that's
like
why I
thank
need a
God she
Riley
did.
Keough is amazing T-shirt.
She Riley Keough's amazing.
She is.
And thank God she did do this because imagine if she
Yes.
wouldn't have written this book.
It just would have been like it's just kind of a revival almost. Not that Elvis needs a revival because he's still very relevant.
In
Like
your household at least.
in my household, but also like in the
All
like
over the
people
world.
know his song. Like they just it's like the Beatles. You just
Oh,
still know the songs, and
no, I was telling Hallie Bell the other day, my mother-in-law, who she's Brazilian, she's from Brazil, and she has not been in the States like too long, I guess,
yeah,
is obsessed with Elvis.
yeah.
And she talks about Elvis all the time, and her dream is to go visit Graceland. And I like have never really cared that much about like taking her. And
But
Hallie
now
Bell and I we're gonna take her. We're
we're
gonna
taking
take
her.
my mom. And like she speaks good English now, but imagine like he's that important that like
He's the
random
American dream.
random Brazilians are obsessed with him how many years later, you
Well,
know?
I sang "Walking in Memphis" for my third grade talent
Oh,
show.
no, you didn't.
Put on my blue suede shoes as I boarded the plane.
I was gonna ask for like a clip, but I knew I didn't need to.
I've got a broken arm. My arm's broken from falling off the swing set, and I'm singing it, and people are like, "Wow, she's little, but she's a powerhouse." So
I gotta get
saying it
it.
so passionately.
Ask someone for that video footage.
I
I'd
think
love to
my
have it.
mom has it.
It's probably on Facebook somewhere.
It's really, yeah, it's good.
Wow. It's good.
It's not good.
Aw, but it's sweet.
It's sweet. I don't know. If my child ever sings in a talent show, it's literally going to be the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, no, no, no. I've told my family many a times I don't enjoy children performing. I get so
Well, buckle
uneasy.
up.
Ugh, like when kids do like a Christmas show and they're
I
singing like
love it.
Jesus loves me this and they're all off and like some kid is like picking his nose. I get so uneasy, like I'm so uncomfortable. Like if my kid wants to be in choir, I'm gonna be like, good luck. I'm not gonna be there.
This is what my mom told us. If we wanted to be opera singers, she would never come.
Well, I agree
Because
with her.
she's like, I hate opera.
I agree with her.
It ain't right.
It
When
ain't
Wally
right.
sings in the back of my car, it
Yeah,
makes
but
me tear. And I'm always like, great singing, baby.
you do.
Great
I've heard
singing.
you say that. I've heard you say, yeah, but he's a good singer. And he says, I got soul, but I'm not
Not
a
a
soldier.
soldier.
No, he's a good singer. He's got a good voice for a 3-year-old. I'll say it.
Well,
Well, sign him to Kids Bop.
Kids Bop, we're ready.
No, he's bigger than Kids Bop.
Anyways, yeah. What did you rate this
Anyways,
book? I didn't even ask.
I don't know, like as close to a 5, like a 4.75.
Oh, yeah.
Dock a little bit because I didn't like the ending and I didn't like how short it was, but
Wow. Okay.
that's it. A 4.75 for me.
Thanks, Deborah.
Who's Deborah?
The Debbie Downer.
Oh, gives a book literally a 4.75 and Halle Bell calls me a Debbie
Debbie
Downer.
Downer.
I'm making this a TikTok clip.
Just be a 5 with me.
No. No. We
Fine.
can't. No.
Okay. Well, if you made it this far,
You're a true
cover girl. And we
And
will catch you next time when we announce our next book shortly.
I'm
Probably
trying to
Christmas
convince.
themed.
What'd you say?
Probably Christmas themed, right?
I'm currently listening to Tessa Bailey's Wreck the Halls, and I
Wreck
think
the halls?
that's what it's called. And I think you should listen to it as well
I
or read
can't.
it. No, Halle Bell.
Wreck the halls?
It's no, listen, it's on brand. It's about the children of a famous girl duo
Ah,
that split and the kids are like trying to reunite their moms
their moms.
because their moms were in a band together and then they had like a breakup.
Oh, I thought you meant like a lesbian love story, which would be fine, but I was like, really?
No, 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 like they have their own families, but
Okay.
they're trying to get the band back together, but like their moms hate each other.
I love
And then
this.
of course like it's Tessa Bailey, so like every other thought is like I want to kiss him.
I want to kiss him.
It's like, I know I'm here for our moms, but like, doesn't he look ravishing?
Doesn't he like me?
No, seriously, that's this book. But it's Christmassy. So
Okay, I'm
I
down.
have, okay, I've got a few. I've already read like 3 Christmas books, so I've got a few I could recommend to you.
Okay, what about a witchy Christmas?
What about a not so cheesy, witchy, warlock, Christmas type book?
No.
Listen, no.
Oh,
What?
side. Okay, last thing and then we'll go.
No,
I
please.
watched the best Netflix Christmas movie with my husband the other night. So, there's just so many bad ones,
Is it
so
that
many
new
written by
one?
AI. No, this is apparently last year's Lindsay Lohan's
Yes,
Christmas movie called
yes,
Falling into Christmas. And
yes.
it's like a classic.
No, Lindsay Lohan is great.
It brings me so much joy to see
Mhm.
her thriving, healthy, acting, and they
Looking
like do
stunning.
they do, like, looking stunning. They do some behind the scenes where she's just having fun on set, like, she's just giggling and everybody loves her. It just
She's so cool.
I just for me, like, just as a parent trap, like, like, we
Kid.
just used to watch
Yeah.
and we loved her, and then we just saw her go through such a hard time, and now she's, like, back on track. It just makes me so
She's
happy.
back and
Okay, I'm
better than
tearing
ever.
up a little.
Okay, we did say you would cry at least once during this episode, and I didn't think it would be about Lindsay Lohan, but here we are.
I don't know why it got me. Okay,
Okay.
just makes me happy to see her happy.
It just makes me happy to see Lindsay happy. Oh,
All
man.
right, goodbye
That's awful.
now.
No, no, no. Sign us off in your Elvis voice.
Thank you all for listening today, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.
Love you. Bye. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's so random.
Oh, God.
Okay, goodbye now.
Um,
For
My
real.
achy, breaky heart.